Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at the chart of both of them. Across the board we can see dropping prices. There isn't really any winner here in the top 100 in the last 24 hours. If there is one, it's only 1 or 2%. There are still some winners over the last 7 days, so it remains to be seen if these gains can be held or if the price is now continuing to drop for them as well. But it's pretty much every crypto that has now started to follow Bitcoin down, especially here. XC, Compound, ICP went up in the last few days massively, but now it's starting to fall as well. Loopring, Gala as well, yeah. So prices are continuing to drop in line with my expectation. When we drop below 45.5, then this unlocks really a lot of prices. I said everything within here 45.5 and 52k is not really worth mentioning too much because it was all in a range. But as we dropped below 45.5k, you can see the massive drop here. Also showed you in the last few days on the Bitcoin chart this contracting Bollinger Band indicator, just showing you in color the Bollinger Bands and showing you that again when the Bollinger Band is broken, then you can see after such a contracting phase quite a big reaction. And you can see that here, did mention it 2 days ago that we were here in this contracting phase. Whenever the color goes green here on this indicator, that then a move is imminent, yeah. And we had it so many times that whenever it was contracting, you could see quite a big move generally. So just want to show you that indicator once more, highlight that it can be quite helpful to identify areas and periods when the prices are going to do quite a strong reaction. Of course, it can't be timed too accurately, but as we were going into the apex of this descending triangle, it was getting more likely that we could see a strong reaction. So now that we've dropped below 45.5k, I think we've got a different wave count now. I think that scenario that we first go up here into this target area of the wave B seems to be for now much less likely, and not completely invalidated, but much less likely. Showed you yesterday in the video my alternative count. I did mention that one before. So far it seems to, I think, be the most likely one now, which indicates that we have seen here a wave 3, which was the low on the 4th of December, then a local high at around 52k here on the 27th, I think it was, of December, and that now we are seeing here this wave 5 play out, which is also a higher level wave 3, usually the strongest wave, the wave 3, not always, but usually a high level one. And then from here you're going to see a high level wave 4 that could take us again into this price range area, after which you could see then that wave 5 final sell-off into the area of 20 to 29k. That 20 to 29k area is for me a given based on the fact or the assumption that we've dropped here in a wave A impulsively throughout June, July, all the way up to a wave B, a 3-wave structure here in an ABC, and that we are now going down here impulsively as well in that wave C. Yeah, that wave C would then follow basically the same pattern that we've done back here in a wave A. Yeah, because wave C and the wave A both are impulsive, and this seems to be now what we are doing, basing it, based on that. Here the wave 3 will now land, or the higher level wave 3 here will land in the range of 36 to 38.5k. We're not there yet, of course. Nothing goes in a straight line. There will be waves within waves and so on, even smaller ones that I haven't indicated here. And I told you if we drop below 45.5k, could get down all the way to 42 in a first instance. Now we did get all the way down to 42.4k. Overall, a lot of people in the last few days always mentioned the moving averages, that the moving averages were still holding Bitcoin higher and supporting Bitcoin. But if we can take a look here at the 20-day and the 50-day and the 200-day moving average, you can see that the price is now actually below all the 3 main moving averages here, below the 20, the 50 and the 200-day moving average. We had obviously bearish crosses here. We talked about that. That was end of November. So the price is not really being supported by any of these longer term moving averages anymore. And yeah, we can also see on the daily that the price dropped now into the bearish range here on the RSI. Not quite oversold yet, not quite, so there's a bit more potential for further drops on the daily. Also here we've seen now on the daily the bearish cross on the MACD. And then what I've been telling you for a while, was this bearish crossover on the weekly, where we had a bearish cross here. And this for me was a very clear sign that we can expect further price drops, given that yeah, it is deep in the red. We haven't seen any slowdown of the momentum on the weekly MACD, and that we had a bearish cross here, and that we've been falling from quite high all the way down here. So yeah, it's in free fall. And also on the weekly RSI, there is definitely more scope for further downside. We're only at 43 until we are oversold. There is quite a bit of a move down to be expected that could really take us below 30k. And Cardano back at 122, my buy order triggered yesterday, that I set a bit higher than I originally did, because I did want to get into ADA at the key support level of 120, around 120, that we had here before. So overall, what you can see here is we're currently holding at this 120 level, actually at 122. We've dropped, unfortunately, below this orange trend line that did give support for a while, yeah, since the beginning of the year. You can see that here. This is an ascending trend line, the orange one. Cardano did hold all the way above it. Yeah, it dropped briefly here to 116, 117 before, but overall did hold quite steady. Cardano lost various trend lines in the last few days, together with Bitcoin now, as Bitcoin was moving closer to 45.5. Cardano was suffering as well. Overall, discount in my view here still valid as long as you hold above 116, but that 116, because well, no, I would need to redo the wave count, because this is the start. Then we'll need to look at this later on. But overall, there hasn't been much move. Overall, this could still be here a wave 1, then a larger wave 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a higher level wave 1. And you're coming down in your ABC very, very much, quite a lot you come down. Yeah, if we take a look at the fibs from all the way down here to all the way up there, you are now back at the 0.887 fib level. Is quite a lot of a retracement. It's not unusual for a wave 1, but nevertheless, you come down here quite impulsively together with Bitcoin. And yeah, I mean, what a potential move up was here, I think it's probably going to die down, to be honest, especially with Bitcoin dropping now. What I hoped all the time was that Cardano could turn around with Bitcoin in its move wave B up here into this area between 55 to 63k, that Cardano could build a solid buffer between its price and the dollar level. Because if we lose a dollar, then it will take much longer for Cardano to recover, because we have to go to a high level wave count, which I thought was quite unlikely, but we might have to do it. As Cardano could not build a buffer, I hoped we could get to maybe 175, 181, $2, one of these key resistance levels, but it didn't. So it stayed all the way, the maximum it did was 160, but then it dropped quite fast again when Bitcoin dropped again. That was when Bitcoin was at 52k. Again, being held down here by this moving average. You can see the orange line coming down there. That was the 50-day moving average, holding the price down at the moment. Also, the price is again below the 20-day moving average here in white. Doesn't really give a lot of support. And yeah, now I think Cardano is held by technical support levels that you can see here, the previous lows, before it will probably follow Bitcoin further down if Bitcoin cannot recover. But even if Bitcoin can recover, I think we're not going to see these 55 to 63k levels anymore, now that we dropped below 45.5k. Well, we will see them, but not before the next major move up after the correction has been finished. So that means for Cardano, we need to put the jacket on. It's getting cold, unfortunately. Long term, nothing has changed, of course. 2022 will be a great year, I think, for Cardano, with DEXs coming out. You see a lot of projects now being built on Cardano. You see, the end-to-end payment system in Africa that's being developed, corporations, and also the Hydra solution possibly coming in 2022. I think all of that can push Cardano again. But again, it's only moving sideways here at the moment overall. If we zoom out, you can see that. Good news is it seems to have stopped its downtrend, and it's been a while now that Cardano has been holding in this area. But now with Bitcoin dropping, the dollar level needs to hold. But to be honest, there isn't much more space between where the price is now and the dollar level. And if I expect Bitcoin to drop like a 45-50% from here, then it would be unlikely that Cardano can stay above $1 if it can't now run. But to run, it needs to build an impulse. We've seen here first potential impulse to the upside, but it's too early to say. As I said, yesterday I told you before we broke down here that I don't really like that structure too much, because it has failed so far to build a new wave to the upside. It's looking quite weak and also quite a strong retracement here. But yeah, this is now playing out. It didn't really make a very good impression, that first move. And that's why I said all the time it was still very early and too early to confirm a breakout, unfortunately. So nevertheless, I'm buying into Cardano because I'm preparing for the next move up pretty much. Yeah, and nobody knows the future. So nobody's going to tell you, we could theoretically go up from here. Of course, we could go to new all-time highs. In my view, at a very low likelihood. But because I don't know, I am going to start to buy into Cardano again. Did that yesterday when the buy order was triggered, the first one again. And I've got spread out further ones, even below $1, because I want to be prepared for each scenario. And that's pretty much my update about Cardano and Bitcoin. I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.